Hello? What the fuck happened there? I can tell you what happened. Okay, here's oh god, yeah, no, it's restarting the stream entirely. Awesome. Even better. That's my thing. We're restarting the stream entirely, I guess now. I would not be surprised if we get another ping going out from notifications. I would not be surprised if we see another ping. I can tell you what happened there. I heard a crack noise. I looked over and I was like, none of my internet went down. Here's the thing, my internet didn't go down. There was a hiccup in it. And I'm making a brave assumption to say that, like, most likely somebody hit a wire. Like, something happened and it just immediately came back. Yeah, I think that was the issue. I think it just knocked out for like 5 seconds and then it came back. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. My internet's been weird lately. It's just been like, okay, there's the notification saying like, hey, he's back. Hey, he's back. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. I should ask, where did it kill itself? I'll ask that question right now. Where did it kill itself? Like, we were talking ammo types. Like, where did it really die? Just to give me an idea of like where it might be. Like, I've been noticing like on the stream health, like it would be going up and down a little bit, but usually it's like, okay, you're shitty on Noonie. Well, that's a given. Right before the ammo types. All right. So if we're doing like right before the ammo types. So again, our basic ammo types, we have our, basic weapons, and then we have like really shitty ammunition, which is always bad. We have kind of more special ammunition. It's like gnome ammo, heavy ammo, oversized bolts. Most of these are pretty like tied to very certain things. Each of these do have their own little thing. Technically, you can do restorative mist. Technically, you can do medic weapon, like medic stones, and hits people in the head with it. Which also goes right into like all the consumable, like here's a bunch of consumable weapons. Thanks, here's a bunch of kits. Cool. Kits are pretty expensive though, so I ended up with this. I just went with a scavenging pack, otherwise known as I put crowbars, bedrolls, and things like that. And like, I'm not gonna like, I'm gonna fucking optimize this. No. I do not care enough. Do not care enough. You kind of see gear and tools, various mounts. You want, have no fear, everybody. You want a fucking world skipper. You want to invest in a ram. That's cool. You want to invest in a fucking elk. You can do that. Feral Trant. Cool. And each of these obviously do something. They always do different things. Various magic items. There's quite a few different magic items here. Most of these need to be attuned with, and they need things, for example. Death's wedding ring. Each of these do slightly different, which I actually do quite enjoy. There's a lot of these. But I ran out of money, so I didn't really get to do anything with them. So it's like, okay, we got little trinkets and stuff, and let's see, yeah. The main idea behind this is that like technology is linear, magic is a little bit more schizo. And then you get things like Pankrin's Compass. For 3 skill points, you can attune to it, and the compass always points you to desire to the most in the world. You can treat allies and enemies within 2 spaces as providing you cover. When you take 4 or more damage from anything, you can have the ally providing you cover take the damage instead. If no allies provided cover, you can use this on an enemy. And he even tried to rob Death at gunpoint when they came to drown him. I do like a lot of these. They are pretty thematic. Technology's a little bit more detailed. And it's things like, hey, it's the AE arm exoskeleton. Human limbs are weak. The Whispers provide us with first steps to an upgrade. Your TL, kind of like the tech level, is like how big and how grandiose it is. And I do like it. Some of them are actually pretty simple, but some of them can be very, complicated, like TL5 cloaks, or TL1 guns, or TL5 fucking armor, or TL4 armor, which allows you to get more armor, but also digital clone yourself. I do like these. It's just a shame it's at the ass end of the book. Because these are developments. Developments are fun. You just don't see them till the bitter fucking end. Usually the people doing like... Well... What? People are threatening to be stupid from other servers. But yeah, these are like, the idea behind developments is that they're like optional way to advance your character and spend your skill points. Cool. And they're mechanical way to story events. Some developments have minimum skill requirements. I'm like, cool, these are like little perks. I'm like, alright, kind, these will be fun. 6 degree, any skill rank 5. You gain +1 bonus to that skill. It can be taken more than once. Double the skill point cost each time after the first time it's taken. Like, okay, abyssal plot armor. You have -1 dodge in armor. Only after, once and only once, after the dice are rolled, you can negate the roll, choose any possible result for the roll, or change the roll's result to 0. Then heal yourself to full endurance. You may have the heal happen before or after the dice result. I do like some of these. Like, they do give you, like... They give you indirect ways of, like, leveling up or, like, increasing your ability. Because, you, again, that's all you get. You just get a raw bit of points to work with. And it's like, cool, you know, it's like unsociable, but you get a bunch of, like, oh, deja vu, wisdom from above, balanced approach. Some of them, though, are things like, are things like, where was the one? Yeah, like non-lethal proponent, -2 to offense, defense, health, and gun skill checks, +1 to skill checks is 6 of your choice. That's really bad. Like, a -2 is real bad. It's like, even things like unsociable, deja vu, wisdom from above. It's like, oh, okay, balanced approach. My future for riches. Legends never die. Admits they find their way back, find a new. They remember the event took them. A decent what happened next, or an unpenetrable fog in their mind. Yeah, you need to. A lot of these are like invest more for later, or like, hey, you have friends that you can get better abilities, or you can get, you know, things that are good. It's like, cool. You know, a noble, my drinking buddies, or your patron of the claws, renegade enchanters, or just people you might know that you can spend abilities on. These are the meme ones. My favorite being a grand entrance, as after you enter a room, a short burst of sound, no longer than 30 seconds, emanates from you to announce your arrival. When hiding, the sound is not made, but you are compelled to whisper the tune or hum it quietly. I think that's hilarious to me. It's like, yeah, they're funny little things. Now, mind you, would you ever fucking take a grand entrance? Absolutely not. They're terrible. Air guitar. It's like, yeah, +1 to form checks. Yeah, yeah, cool. Neat. It's like anyone for a game. You always have dice on you for finesse checks. Why? I don't know. You just do. Bending moral fiber. Blinded by greed. Background character. Backseat driver. Playing the heavy from TF2. If you shape your hand like a gun and pretend to fire. Let me just double check this. Make sure it didn't die again. It did not die again. Go me. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I like some of these. These are some of them are pretty fun. Others of them are like, well, I know obviously this is going to be something useful, or like this is obviously something good, or this is something obviously great. Yeah, it's like, cool. I like it when it's like, you get more stuff. Neat. Like, this is just clearly good because you just get something, you get a bonus, you get you get an ability or something with that. Where it's like fun things and like useful things sometimes cost the exact same, which is like, ah, that's kind of a bummer. Like, that's kind of like a... I honestly can't tell whether not your action figure advertisement when we're reading description or item names is supposed to be mocking an itch. It's not, but it comes off that way because apparently I have a very bad... Also, thank you, Rook Unlimited. I have a very bad time of sounding like I'm talking down to people. I don't mean to. That's the thing. I don't mean to do it. I just kind of do on accident. It's just how my voice sounds. What's this? Yeah, it's like it's fun. I like them, but here's the thing. Then we get combat classes right at the end. 75. This is page 149. We get combat classes. These are completely fucking different. These are completely separate. And I'm like, why the fuck are these so late? Because here's the thing, like, combat classes have a unique niche and ability that makes them stand out from one another. Some are better at dealing damage, others built to protect their allies. These are talent trees. You can spend skill points to gain classes. Talent trees have 7 ranks or a red top to bottom. Requirements, talent tiers, restrictions. Each of them also have different resources, like action points, deft and brutal and ire, dice pools. Yeah, there's a fucking dice pool. Magic points. Yeah, these are all of the various classes. As you can kind of see, it's like warrior, scholar, nomad, rune gunner, engineer, crusader, bard, dragon monk, abyssalist, shaper, stormguard, and fire lord. Now, these aren't simple either. As you can kind of see, it's like, oh god, there's quite a few here. Like, yeah, a tier 0 talent. If you want to buy one of these things, like, yeah, I want to buy fighter, for example. Use the ire resource, gain fighter taunt. When you attack, you take 2 damage, take 2 brutal ire. When you attack and don't take damage, gain 2 deft ire. This is a completely separate fucking mechanic. And I didn't have any points left anymore. That's the thing. Like, I didn't really have... I didn't have enough points at the end to really afford any of these. So I'm like, okay, I'll look around, see what I can do. But like, if you want to take the fighter, you have to have these. 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1. I'm like, oh shit. Like, all right. Again, I can sometimes understand if it's like you're supposed to like kind of go through, stat prerequisites. These ones you can choose, but it's like, this is what I say, like, I didn't really make a character that optimal, because fun fact, I can take no class. I can take absolutely 0 classes. And it's like, yeah, I'm kind of locked out of like a lot of these. And some of these are actually, again, these bring up very different abilities and they're very separate. It's like, yeah, okay, let's do champion. Let's do the champion. 6 skill points. Use the ire resource. Gain the abilities right. Gain the ability champion's might. When you attack, gain one deft ire. Land critical hit, 2 brutal ire. Targets heal endurance by your deft ire. Shield and free hand. Champion's might. You can gain the ability to deflect. It's like, wow, like these aren't like small either. Like there's quite a few to these, and there are quite a few of them. It's like, yeah, here's all the combat classes for like the scholar, in case you want to play kind of like a wizard of some kind. Hey, I want to play I want to play a nomad. Well, to play nomad, you're gonna need all of these. And I'm like, oh shit. Combat gets, I think the thing is like combat gets actually a little bit deeper when you get down here, because you get a lot more options and you get a lot more things to really work with. Some of them, mind you, are not done yet, by the way, so as you can kind of tell, some of these are just clearly not done. Then we have a very basic kind of setting guide and all that. Here's the thing though with the combat classes. They feel really late in the book for what should be like. These feel like they should be right up front. These should be like, hey, these are the classes. It feels weird that they're in the back so far. Even, mind you, even if there was like a 13th class like adventurer, which is like there's 0 requirements to enter it, and it's just like some very basic combat utility abilities, just for people like Jaster here, who he never invested in any of his skills. He doesn't have a combat class. And he's losing out on a bunch of things because he didn't choose to invest in that. He wanted to go his own way because you don't clarify that's important or those are requirements really. And it's like, oh shit, like that's what I'm like, I fucked up a little bit. And it's like, I get the idea of like how, these are cool, they're bigger, there's a bunch of action like things, but it's like, by the time you get down here after going through everything else, it's like, do I really want to invest in a combat class? Because I'm like, I'm already having fun with this. If you just tell me like, this is it, no combat classes, I'd be like, fine, cool, this is fine. It's everything I need and just right there, everything you need. But it's like, yeah, here's the combat classes. It's like, if I was a player, I'd be like, okay, are we doing combat heavy, non-combat heavy? Are we doing like more bigger adventure one? Because if we're doing combat heavy, there's 3 skills I got to invest in pretty heavily, and I'm going to look back there, and I'm not going to build. The thing is, like, I'm not going to build my character how I want my character to look like. I'm going to be like, okay, I know I want to play a nomad. To play my nomad, I have to invest in these abilities. I have to invest in it. And the skill costs for these, by the way, are yeah, like I would say either clarify they're optional, but like, let's say for example, I want to take the nomad. I just want to take the nomad. We can say it's going to be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and that's 6. So overall, to actually be able to just pick up this base class, it's going to be 6. That's going to be 12. That's going to be 15. That is 21. About 21 points to actually invest into getting just the base nomad, and then you can pick up wander. And that's like it. That's your full character. You don't really have, you get like one, you'd end up with 1 point you can spend elsewhere. And it's like, oh, well, shit. It feels weird to me that like, it's, you make kind of a point of being like to add them. Like, I would say if you want to make a point being like, you should pick a combat class. Like this is like picking a class. I would say like add maybe like some basic classes to it that build up into those. So it's like, so instead of like saying, actually no, we go back down real fast. it's a little bit easier to explain this if I can see everything. Let's say, for example, I want to go down the... Yeah, let's say, for example, I'm like, hey, I want to go down a warrior path. But there's like I would say like a pre-class, you could say. Which is like, if you were going down the warrior path, if you want to become a warrior, really, then maybe focus on investing in these skills. Or you get a little bit, like, we encourage to, like, take some very basic prerequisites here to build up into it. Hey, I want to become a scholar class and really focus on magic and shit. Then here's some of your little basic advantages. Like, it's kind of like, here's a template that you can use. Not really strict, but like, here's a template of a class in case you don't quite know what you want to play, but like, hey, you want to play a nomad? You want to play a nomad? Here's how you play a nomad. Slap it down. There you are. All yours. Hey, you want to play a crusader? Slap it down. This is kind of how you play a pilgrim, for example. Basic skills give you still some room to maneuver in, and you build up into the crusader class, or you build up into the engineer, build up into the rune gunner. That's how I would do it. Or you make a very obvious and very direct point being like, you don't need to take a class early. You can take a combat class at level 4. You can take a combat class at level 5. Or you make it be like, these are completely fucking optional and they just help you do very certain things. That would, like, it right now, it kind of felt to me like, oh, hey, these are clearly meant to, like, you're clearly meant to take these. That's why I felt like I didn't like make my character very well because I couldn't take any classes. It was physically impossible for me to. And I was like, I'm a little bummed out now that I didn't get to explore an aspect of the game. You can't become a crusader, no line goes to it, Lamau. But yeah, that's Inversion. I would say the big thing with Inversion right now. Big thing. Minor corrections, kind of just make formatting. That's always out. Formatting is always a bitch. I'm not going to say any. I'm not going to like bitch. No. I would say the pretty big things for me anyway is maybe clarify with like the inspirations. It's like, were the setting is inspired by, I think it's like Adventure Time, Wild Arms, but like the gameplay is like, or maybe like kind of provide like, these are kind of like examples, like this is inspired by Adventure Time because, or this is inspired by these because of. It's kind of like set it there. Or if you do go down like the custom race section, make it be like, here's some very basic races and some basic ideas that we want to do. And like, here's the basic human template, expand upon this. Most of like the core rules work a little pretty fine. I'm down for most of the core rules. Not the biggest fan of this, but that's just me. And man who does not like Chinese food goes to Chinese restaurant, amazed that it's Chinese. Like, okay, cool. Combat works pretty good. Again, my second major point would be like, decide if you want like the combat classes to be kind of important, if you want them to not be important, if you want them to be emphasized. Kind of try to make a decision on that early on, because it's like, oh, on page 13 we learned about combat, and be like, okay, we learned about combat, and then it's like, don't forget about combat classes. Combat classes make you better in combat. It's like you take a second, like, maybe I should go with combat. Maybe I should wait for combat. Maybe I should learn about combat classes. Okay. I would say for like languages work fine. I would say like if you go down the idea of like, I want to change some of the languages, make things kind of almost like human in a way, being like Elvish is not just the elf language of elves. It's like kind of like this like it's a human understandable and spoken version of Fey speak or something like it. It's elf. Or hey, this isn't dwarf language, this is just a version of language that has been adopted by these people who work with old technology a lot. It's pretty much the jargon of the old world that people have learned. Cool. And it's like, yeah, okay, human is the kind of like orcish. Yeah, it's, oh no, it's kind of like an orc language. It's just this dark language spoken by, marauders and nomadic monsters. Like, okay, cool. Like that's kind of an interesting idea. really specific, but more kind of like broader interpretations of it. So it's not like you're playing a goblin. No, it's like, yeah, I speak Goblish because goblins are literally anything that are like minor monsters, smaller underground monsters are all called goblins. Cool. Like that's kind of like the idea. It's more in lore. Like it's called like they're goblins because they are literally just how these are. A kobold is just a variation of a goblin. Yeah, because I like the ideas. I like all the looks for things. I would say some of the backgrounds could probably see some like increasing and like some like maybe some like a little bouncing back and forth, because you get some which are like, this is clearly amazing. It's like wowzers, like I get a bunch of bonuses. Others of them are like, oh cool, I can take 2 additional languages. Woo! Can you explain the Chinese restaurant analogy? If I do not like Chinese food, I don't like Chinese food. Hate it. Despise it. I don't actually hate Chinese food. This is just an example. Because I do not like this food, I could go to the best Chinese restaurant ever. Great, amazing food. Great staff. Great everything. Just because, though, I just don't like Chinese food, it's going to be lost on me because I just don't like it. Like, this is not my kind of thing. It doesn't matter how good it is. It's just like, this isn't my thing. I don't like RTS games. It doesn't matter if I'm playing the best RTS game of all time. If I don't like it, I'm not going to enjoy it. I don't like romance novels. I could read the best romance novel of all time. I'm probably not going to like it because it's a romance novel. That's my thing. That's kind of the idea. Being like, it might be really good for somebody else who really likes it and is okay with that. Might not be for someone who doesn't like it. It's kind of like, it's hard for me to judge it properly because I'm like, it's not my kind of system that I would normally work with. But I like very strict numbers. I like target numbers. I like being able to count my numbers, and I like having the exact result always laid out before me. I know when I roll a 15 on my target number 15, I have succeeded. Not a success with no complication, or a success with complications, or a minor success. I'm not a big fan of those. That's just me, though. Yeah. I would say, like, I think the third, like, major issue that could probably be kind of, like, addressed a little bit more is, so, like, I would say possibly make it, like, a note for things, like, down here where it's like, oh, boy, here's a bunch of, like, first aid +1. Like, I have 4 ranks in medicine, but only a +3 in my first aid checks. I feel like there's something like I missed with that, and there's a couple other like, oh, initiative and negotiate. I'm not a huge fan of this. Your players might be like, this is the greatest thing ever. It feels weird to me. It feels really weird, and I can't put my finger on why it feels weird. It's just like, starting wealth works pretty well. I would say maybe bump up the starting wealth just a little bit, maybe like 1,500 silver, just so people actually have a little bit of money to work with. And they don't feel as how do I want to word it? They don't feel as worried about taking something that feels like it's not like immediately like, oh, I immediately must pinch my pennies, because if I don't pinch my pennies, I'm not gonna have any money. So it's like they feel a little bit more encouraged to take some like maybe some little bit better equipment, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit something a little bit more expensive. Just without like the immediate feeling like, oh, I'm fucked permanently. That'd just be me. But yeah, no, that's Inversion. I did quite enjoy Inversion. I think it's a good idea. How come what? Final. Yes, it's time, everybody. It's time for SIGMApunk. A prototype. Are you on a Mac? Am I on a Mac? No, I'm not on a fucking Mac. Oh, how come you don't like minor successes at a cost? Well, one of the big things with that is that it usually boils down to a little bit of Mother May I, and the GM has a bad tendency. Like every time I've seen something with that, what happens usually is the GM has to make a decision, and sometimes it's one moment a success at a cost is one thing. At another time, it's another. And at another, it could be something completely different. I am not a huge fan of that. I've never been a huge fan of, like, well, a success with, it's like one of those things like, a success with complication is, oh, well, you've taken, like, it's like, you take an extra damage doing this. Or it could be, you break your fucking, you broke your arm. Those are those are pretty drastically different. Like, like, that's why I don't like it, because, like, one person can interpret it different ways, rather than just, like, a strict interpretation, and I'm a very strict interpretation person. Yeah, SIGMApunk. This is written by a Russian man. This is written by a Russian man named Varik. Not Varik, main protagonist of Earthbound Halloween Hack, very different. We want to go to itch.io. About it, SIGMApunk. We'll Google SIGMApunk. We have the Varik on OpenSea. As you can see here, this is who he is. Varik is a noted individual. He's very Russian, if you can't tell. You may be wondering, See, what I can do is we can download this version. I don't believe this is the correct version. I believe this is the older version. Or this is the true version, you can say. Let's find him on Twitter. Hello, Varik. You're on Twitter. As you can see, he's on Mastodon, because again, you got to remember he's very Russian. Oh, here's Wuso. I fucking found him. I finally found you, Wuso. Yeah, as you can kind of tell, very Russian. Very man who enjoys being Russian, as you can tell. Let me think about, he is from, actually, fun fact, he is from Kaliningrad. This is very important. He will make sure to tell me about it later if I don't tell everybody here. I don't remember my question if translations and war games are valid for next time. Right, yeah, I mean, translations might be their own thing. Oh, yeah, translations, I will say they're going to be their own thing. War games are a little bit wonky because I don't really cover war games on here very much. Kaliningrad is in Russia. Well, to give you, Varik's, more authentic, look, Varik is, he is a Russo-Polish, Lithuanian, Ruthenian, Ukrainian, French, Anglo-American. That's Varik's full actual, his personal lineage is a Russo-Polish, Lithuanian, Ruthenian, Ukrainian, French, Anglo-American. It's actually very impressive that he can become literally everything. Now you may be wondering why this is the case. How can one man be all of these things at once? But I do say this. This is the most important part. We forgot actually one thing. Mongolian. Yes. Through his Mongolian veins, he is allowed to become stronger. He's allowed to become wiser. He is the ultimate Slav. It's actually very impressive how he can become the final Slav. And, in the final confrontation between God and the world, it will be Varik who appears, and he's our final judgment. I have no Mongolian ancestry. That's what they all say, but our friend Genghis Khan would like to beg to differ. But yeah, this is just, there we go. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, so we've understood who Varik is as a person. We've understood how he operates. Generally speaking, on my top Russians list, he's about number 7. Top number 1 Russian is obviously my best friend Manly, the strongest Slav I know. A true all Russo Canadian man, Russo Italian Canadian, strongest Slav. But this is SIGMApunk. This is his game. I've actually not gone over SIGMApunk at all because it's me. And I couldn't do it because fucking Jort. Blame Jort, honestly. Woo, at least I'm not a Canadian. Yeah, again, I've learned you just you just throw in more words at each other and it's eventually someone will defend it. It's great. Yeah, various authors, Varik, Crimson, Commissioner Kane, and Square Sauce. I'm assuming all of these people are very Russian. Playtest, some various playtesters, various intro, sequel, and a reimagining of the Sigmata, using newly gained experience and ideas, future world of Sigma males and punks. 4D20, at least 3D players at Game Master. Sigma male in the room. Real intros, 20x at corporate consumer memes. Memes, DNA of the soul. You don't understand. Monsoon was always right. Wannabe punk, 300k, second Sigma male. Both want to become part of something bigger. That spool of endless useless ideas, I'll make more profit than other relentless idiots, but they're only circle around begging free promo from 40-year-old celebrities that are probably too bored to say no. You play as one of those who want to become something big. That's even a shot. For now, you're just a bunch of nobodies, but you have a plan how to become something bigger. I only hope your plan is actually good. Coming a punk. As you can tell, my eyes slightly bleed from this book already. Something punk. You decide what kind of power you have. Cool. Let's see. So, this isn't even justified. What the fuck happened here? Let's know. I'm curious. Yeah, you put a space here for some reason. I don't know why. Let's see. Not for the show, but the reason I wrote it is for why I wrote it is first. What type of punk are you is extremely important. Not for show. There's a reason why I wrote it is first. It first. Why I wrote it first. Remember, everyone, he's ESL. So how you will actually make a punk type that suits you? Easy. What are you, a fucking white woman, Varik? Easy. In 7 steps, you will create a new type of punk. Name your punk types. Spread 4 between power, physical, mental, social. Make some damage for each power. Make 3 sample rules of your type. Come up with things that powers you. Come up with a gimmick. Generate your shitcoin wallet. Now you made a new type of punk. Wasn't that hard. Was not that... See, now you have made a new type of punk. Was not that hard. If it was actually hard, I would give some example. There's the same error in the Russian version. It's like I don't know. It's one thing with like meme games. The one thing with like meme games that would be a little bit complicated is that it's hard to determine like what is memes and what's on purpose and like what's an actual like. How do I want to word this? What's the meme versus what's serious? Like, is this an actual error or is this like you're just being a fucking dumbass? Like, it's hard to, so here's our sandal punks. Sandals, a great footwear made of various materials. Horrifying. Never throw away sandals. Punch anyone who hates sandals. Always wear sandals in any weather. Take care of your sandals. Don't let time took them. Hate other type. Or sandal with socks if you are cold. You can only use sandal, throw it in an enemy on a hit. Opposed knocked down for 2d6 seconds. On a fail, you lose 1 extra. DOSPunk. That's a fucking Wojak. You put a fucking screaming Wojak. God, I fucking hate Varik. Always follow money. Never fight the broke. They are already suffering to lend without interest. Cash on useless stuff. Dough before all. If someone calls you greedy, at least I ain't broke. Beat anyone who doesn't respect the dosh. You can spend as much DOS as you want as long as you have some. 1 DOS equals 1 BTC. Jesus, do you realize how many people would be fucking killing with $1 for a BTC? Jesus. Being punk. Never listen to anything in punk rock. Punk rock. Post-punk is trash. Draw anarchy symbol. Hate machine while helping it. Ramble about some new age stuff that hardly works on paper. Oh god, you hurt me. Eric, this hurts to read. Loads of money. Like, you're like, god damn. Damn. Yeah, so let's see. Our basic attributes, powers, those attributes, representation. Human being, bigger is always better. Your limit is +5 during character creation. You can decrease 1 power by 2. Maximum damage. Maximum damage, which is the attributes +10. Total damage taken when a power is equal or higher than its MD. It is MD. Your limit is +5 during character creation. You can decrease 1 power plus. So, character is taken out of action for an hour, lose 1 rule. If he has no rules, he dies due to not being a punk. After that hour, you remove 1d10 damage. Physical pain like a stab or gun wound. You have witnessed a queue so long you almost died. It was one of the greatest roasts you have ever taken. Those are commandments, their way of life. Capitalized fuel. It's a okay, first thing is Varik, English. Capitalized fuel, this is a proper noun. This is clearly something we need to pay attention to. You may lose 1 of your rules if you explicitly go against them. You may spend 4 fuel to avoid that. Or when you carry more damage, 1 of their powers than their D. Fuel. Fuel you or have a sort of 5 at the beginning and a limit of 10. You can spend 2 to reroll 1 die, 1 to activate your gimmick. Simple as that. Sometimes a day, something that is not strong based on one of those gimmicks that are examples, but most often the gimmicks are determined by the kindness of the GM and mind of the player. To activate a gimmick, you spend 1 fuel. Not a fan of that. Now again, I'm not into these kind of games. First session, 0 or not. Players have a big goal, 5 night smaller goals. Rent basement, buy equipment, take some turf, get money from the product, get a 1-bedroom crib and a skyscraper. Shit coins. Yay, shit coin. 3 certain cryptocurrency. Player name roughly equals to 0.1 BTC. Ah, of course. First money talk in the day. Roll table below. The 20%. So my shit coin can rapidly increase or decrease in value. Let's roll, everybody. My shit coin increased by 0%. Damn. Again, we got our very basic, fuels, our rules, our notes. I hate the fact that you've used not just 1 different type of font. You've used like 9 different fucking fonts. Fucking goblin. Slab jank and tabletop 4. Yeah, that's not to summarize the basic roles. GM likes it. GM may call for a check. He sets difficulty. Modifying the roles. Player GM made the big part of the scene. Basic difficulty. So let's see. So yeah, so again, the basic concept of a check is just roll a bunch of D20s versus whatever it is. I love it. That's great. Die results, so simple as so decrease in the note is noted as God, you have multiple systems of We get plus 2 to this, making 14 and 19. Additional dice. One of the most drastic with modifiers, adding more dice. Additional rules. Items during their journey. Combat has only simplified combat rules. Stop. Enough and then determine what power. Oh, jeez. Advanced with combination standalone, you receive 0.1 BTC. More rules. Increase one of the powers by 1. Increase your maximum fuel by 1. Adventure. Player's crib. 50. Local art venues. Energy drink. 0.002 BTC. Medic bag. Heal 1d6 physical damage. Ordinary knife. Water. Beer. For mental. There'll be a for full version. There are no implants in the prototype. Join group plan is completed. Just put a new plan. There's no limit to idiocy. Why is this crap made? There we go. So, Varik, I'm gonna give you here's my honest opinion, Varik. You ready for my honest opinion? Please, God, get a fucking editor. It's slab jank. Like I would make a very baseless assumption, the most likely that it's a little bit that it is quite literally. I would say it's probably written better in Russian, maybe. I don't know. Can you be my editor? If you send me, if you really need someone to like go over things, I will do my best. It's not better in Russian. Thank you, Madly, for the insight. But yeah, it's a meme game. Well, I'm very, I hate to break it to you. This is a meme game. This is something that's kind of got to lean. I would say one thing about it is you gotta lean into the meme. You gotta lean into the joke a little bit more of everything is punk. Everything, if you're not punk, it's not punk enough. That being kind of the joke. Just lean into it, have fun with it, be stupid. You're making a dumb game. You may as well make it dumb. Do not pretend this is anything of high thinking. You are making a satire piece of punks. Of all the various punk genres. Embrace that. Yeah, of course the guy who's sandal punk can only take sandal-based, modification. That's the point. Oh, you're a SIGMApunk. You can only take Sigma male enhancement. It's shit like that. Like, be like stupid. Like, be dumb with it. Even like make things like, oh hey, it like modifications or cybernetics or whatever are entirely based on your type. So it's not like it's just like +1s or +2s to things, but it's like, yeah, your Sigma grind, your grind set enhancement gives you this, but it gives you this. That'd be kind of like the thing that you'd have to do with a game like this. So, yeah. Welcome to SIGMApunk, everybody. There we go. We did it. We learned a lot about each other today. So, that was all your games. Again, I couldn't go over everybody's game. You can tell my fucking Microsoft Edge just killed this fucking committed Sudoku. I will send it to you. Oh no! But yeah, that was everybody's games today. It went pretty well. I think everything. I will probably do another one of these. Will it be like soon? Probably not. It'll probably be at least in a little while. But there's a lot of things I need to go over, and I need to do quite a bit of things in general. Next week, probably next Saturday will probably be a very quiet stream. Because I need to get videos and shit done for November, actually. So it's kind of like, okay, got to get that done. Kind of got to hammer out some basic details and stuff. But yeah, things are going pretty good. We will do a quick look at just Kickstarter. We will not do we're not going to do a very deep look into Kickstarter, though. Mostly because I just don't feel like dealing with it. We'll just take a quick gander through here because we can. Hands on the Yucatan, Ravens, game of wit, guile, and agility. Deca Corp, 35. Anime inspired Valor. I've heard of Valor before. I cannot put my hand. Oh, Maori. Cool. STL file. We all love STL files. I don't think people quite understand how much it fucking annoys me that they are a piggy investment game. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, no. The moon hangs low. Oh, no. Which one did I like the most? I liked all of them. They were all, every game had some good things associated with it. Otherwise known as, I don't want to say anyone. Yeah, we found it, guys. Gay son of the board game. Wow. Finally, the game we need. I never knew we needed Gay Sauna the role-playing game. Let me guess. Funding unsuccessful. Wow. Who could have fucking guessed that Gay Sauna the role-playing game was not successful in funding? Let me guess. Like, wowzers. Color me impressed, everybody. Color me impressed. Yeah, watch it on YouTube. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There, Noonie. You gotta make sure. Delving. Stay-in, girl. Oh, thank you so much, Claus. You're so hate. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything here. This is stuff we've already seen. These are games we've already seen before. Valor. I remember Valor. I don't know why I've heard of Valor before. Bleach mod. Yeah. I don't I remember hearing about this game, but for the life of me, I cannot remember why I've heard about it. But that's cool. When the moon hangs low. Cool. All right. Hunters, cool. It's on this already. Hey everybody, it's another fucking. Do you like Bloodborne? Do you like the Bloodborne? I too enjoy the Bloodborne. God, blood blowing. Blood blowing. On a D6 dice pool system. Alright, I mean, cool if you like it. Just a print edition, that's all it is. Like, you can already buy this game. They're just trying to do a print version of it. Yeah, Kickstarter. Yeah, that's really all it is. I'll probably add some stuff. So, Fantasy Gate. Wait a fucking moment. That is clearly AI art. That is clearly AI art. Yeah, wait a second. Need an alternative. Steve Jackson Games. What? Old school classic from Steve Jackson Games. Interesting. Alvin Helm, certain set of runes. Pledge levels. Look at the, it's like a zine. What? Fantasy Trip RPG zine. Interesting. I wonder if he got the okay to do this. Yeah, that's that. But like, it's just he's just mentioned there. Weird, because yeah, here's the poker dice. Like poker dice are really cool. I think they're kind of neat. So yeah, this is kind of funky. Alvin Helms. What are you? Who are you, Alvin? You're from fucking Ohio. Alvin Helms. I can't find any names on this guy. Wait, Fantasy Trip? Fantasy Trip. Yeah, it's this. So I guess yeah, okay. He does have he does have like the indirect, like you could say a support of Steve Jackson Games. Okay. It may be unofficial, but this project is blessing the powers that be. That's the same meme, waiting with great anticipation. So yeah, okay. So Steve is saying that this is okay. Little bit weird. I don't know why you wouldn't put this on here somewhere, be like, this is okay. This is supported by Steve. That would be like the first fucking thing I put on here. But yeah, that's kind of neat. But oh no. It's furry. Modified version D20 OG. It's furry. Referential marketing. It's furry. The tailored system for an unconventional. It's furries. I love furries, man. Even once. Poker dice are cool. Fuck you. Like, okay, I'm gonna call it there. So thank you all. What was this? Fast-paced military intelligence-based. Okay, this is the one that like is automatic. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. Hope you all had a wonderful time. A little bit late today, unfortunately, simply because of timing. And what I have to do with this video is I have to do the thing that I did a long-ass time ago. And I have to download both videos and then splice them together, which is most likely going to crash literally everything. Just hate to break it to everybody involved. I might upload this as like 2 separate videos because it's both about an hour long. It's like, fuck. All right, cool. I will, let's see. For next week, we're going to be starting on White Carnations, which things should be going pretty smoothly. I'll get everything set up for tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow we're not doing anything because I'm running my game, which is going to be a little bit fun because we're going into a new series. We're doing a little bit new of a new arc, which is going to be a little bit different. Last one, and mostly because hopefully my players suffer. Let's see. Next week, don't quite know who I want to do the videos with yet. If I were to kind of keep pinging me. Let me see. We go to notifications. I mean, notice board. Most likely, we will do. I'm feeling like maybe we'll do something a little bit different. People seem to like the video. People seem to like the Cyberpunk video, so I might do some more like just like meandering conversational stuff. I don't know if you guys like that stuff. The algorithm fucking adores it. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that right fucking now. The algorithm really likes it. Also, good news, everybody. Good news! We've officially hit the 1K club. with the finding real cyberpunk with Notepad. We've hit the 1K club, baby. Woo! But yeah, no, it's actually very, very interesting that it hit the 1K. I'm like, we got a comment over here. There's so many. Oh Jesus, there's so many. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. But in your hopes, I hope. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's welcome to me butchering Spanish. Hopefully there won't be too much of it, but yeah, most likely next week we will do rapid fire number 7. And probably Dune Rose, if I can't think of like a big fun video to do. Like, here's something like, let's talk about something broader. Let's talk about kind of a broader idea a little bit. I don't really know what kind of broader idea we would talk about. There's really nothing out there in the sphere to really talk about right now. So I might just end up doing something like that. I might do the Goblin Slayer video as well during that time. It's kind of like, I think I want to do rapid fire number 7 because I want to talk about Kuro. I want to talk about high school harem comedy and Chichion. All 3 of them being kind of unique. I might do a video one day on like the other punk genre, the other punks, but that's kind of that'll be way far out there. Generally thinking, most likely what's going to happen, this is me speaking to you, most likely what's going to happen is during the time that I am in the UK, I'm going to go through all the classrooms. I'm going to put up all the big classroom videos all during that time. There's going to be no stream, but it's just going to be that. Yeah, the algorithm has decided the content it wants out of you. Now, time to feed it. Yeah, it's one of those things like, I think it was like one of those things like I saw the cyberpunk thing. I'm like, it's time to hop on this now because people actually were talking to me about it because it's, well, it's not like the TTRPG. Well, no shit, it's not like the TTRPG. This is why. Like, it's always kind of hard to like see what the algorithm's going to like and what the algorithm's really going to reward. So I've been thinking about what to kind of do with that, like what people are kind of doing. I've actually hit a weird point now. Is like after 500, I'm actually getting noticed a little bit more. I get bumped up the priority list a little bit. So it's like, okay, all right, this is kind of neat. Like, let's talk about. That's why I kind of want to talk about. Like rapid fire number 7 would be kind of a good one. Because Kuro is technically cyberpunk, and it's like, this is kind of a weird interpretation of cyberpunk. And this would be kind of interesting. High school harem comedy, that one's just weird, and I want to talk about that one a little bit. Like, this is a weird little game, and I think people should look at it, because it's fun. I would say some of the other one, like, I actually kind of am running out of little opinions. Like, the little opinion pipeline is getting a lot shorter. So it's kind of like one of those things, like I can do a few of them, but I haven't really done a big case in a while, which is getting to a point. I might end up doing a detox actually this week. That wouldn't be a terrible idea actually. So I'll think about it. If you guys have any like big broad ideas that you would be like, I want to talk about this, do so. I'm probably going to do the punk thing for at least a little while. The thing is, like, I want to avoid doing popular games. That's the big thing. What the pipeline usually is a case into a little opinion. The problem is, like, none of the, like, all the Blades in the Dark stuff, I've said I'm not going to do a case on. I'm not going to do a little opinion on them because it's useless to do one because, like, it's fucking Blades in the Dark. I don't much care for it. Like, I don't care enough to actually do it. And that's going to be kind of like the hill I die on. Outside of that, it's been like this week I can't obviously do your guys' game as a little opinion. That would be kind of weird. Can't really talk about like last week I ended up putting like the Elite Dangerous RPG, the Pillars of Eternity one on there. Like, it's kind of hard to talk about Frame in any like large capacity because Frame is like 5 pages. There's not a lot of game to Frame. So yeah, I'll debate on it. There's probably some kind of very large and impressive thing I can talk about, but I don't know it yet. Most likely, the next series of cases will go out maybe this week. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll put out like all the official cases of like, this is what you guys kind of are looking for, and we're going to do some bigger cases. I think I want to do some like bigger, more impressive ones to get people a little bit more excited. Next week, we're not going to do a case, though, because it's kind of a weird time. Anytime the first of the Saturday, things get really weird, so I'm just going to delay on that. Just I have time to do other things. But yeah, no, it's I'm excited. It's always been interesting in that regard, like what people would say. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anna. I will see you all later. So Godspeed, good luck, and yeah, see you on Monday. If you need me, just yell me at Discord.